Welcome back to Over 55. I'd like to introduce our past controller, Gina Barber, who was chair of the Age-Friendly Cities, which was a big deal, a very big deal for London. And now she's a blogger extraordinaire. Hello, Gina. How are you?
Fine, thanks, Ron.
We've been chatting before we come on TV, and it was interesting. We're talking about volunteerism and how some things lead to others. And I think you said volunteerism led you to being a city councillor.
Absolutely. I retired in 2004 from Fanshawe College, where I was teaching sociology, and you know, ended up being elected to the Board of Control, running citywide on a platform of eliminating the Board of Control.
Okay.
So I did myself out of a job,
Looking
too.
for retirement again, were you?
So back to retirement.
But you were part of the Age-Friendly City, and I don't know if a lot of Londoners know that, but it was a really big deal, not just London or Canada, but the world.
It was. We were recognized by the World Health Organization as being committed to being an age-friendly city. So we joined that global network, and we were the first city in Canada to do that, joining cities like New York City and Brussels and so forth. So
big kudos
yeah,
for us.
it was important and continues to be important.
Yes. So you're the groundbreaker and the leader of that. So thank you very much for that. I mean, that's a important part. Now you're a blogger. So how did you get into blogging? Because I'm not a blogger, so I have to admit to that.
Well, it really was when I was at City Hall. One of the things that happens is you get a lot of questions, a lot of requests for information. How do I do this, or what's happening here, or please explain what happened at City Council last night. And that led me to try to find a way to communicate more broadly with the public. It's one thing to write an email and keep writing email after email, but having a place where you could explain what was going on at City Hall, and particularly the importance of certain issues, whether it's age-friendly cities or whether it's your garbage pickup. Those are important issues. People have a hard time understanding how the city works, why it works the way it does. A lot of our reports have been gobbledygook for most of the citizenry. Yeah. So that's how it started. It was a way of communicating with people. And then after my term on Board of Control was finished, I found that there was still very much interest in how the council worked, and particularly with a new council, we're functioning somewhat differently without a Board of Control. Right. So I kept it up, and so my blog, London Civic Watch, is really that. It's a watch on what's happening in the city, particularly at City Hall.
So you're sort of the go-between. If I want to know something about City Hall and I'm afraid to go to somebody, maybe City Hall, or I can go through your blog and start to correspond with you or ask you some specific questions?
Well, certainly you can always ask me specific questions. I pick a topic. The topic is usually set by the agenda at City Hall. Okay. Ones that I think that people may be interested in, ones that sometimes are controversial, sometimes they're things that are quite obscure but are significant to people. And so what I try to do is make them accessible to people. Like, here's what's really going on. And that can be sometimes difficult to appreciate when you get a little report in the newspaper. Yes. Or if you're watching, even if you're watching Rogers and you're watching the whole thing, you wonder, you know, why are they doing that? Why are they saying that? Why is somebody given an extension of time, whatever?
Yeah, and that's good because, like you say, and that's a great point. Where, you know, I'll read the newspaper and I'll get a little bit, but I maybe want to know more. And who do I go to find that extra? Because I know councillors are very busy and they have other lives other than just council. So we can come through your blog and find out what's going on.
Well, and it's my take on it based on my experience of council. I do talk with people about it also, but a major feature of this, I think, is my interest in education. I really want people to know how it works, and I want them to find out in language that they can understand. So when they're talking about assessment growth, what the heck is that stuff, right. You know, and how is it different from taxes, and how is it different from development charges? And those are sort of dry topics, but they have really interesting stories.
And so better than you.
So I like to tell those stories, you know, about how things work and how an incident came about and how it was resolved and who did what to whom.
Okay, so as we wrap up here, you can sort of, all age levels come to you because the blogging is becoming more and more popular, and as some of us older folks like myself try to get online and sort of learn the blog, we have somewhere to go and find out maybe behind the scenes what's going on at City Hall where somebody else might not have said it to us.
Well, yes, and it's a different kind of format. It is quite interactive. You can post your questions and your concerns and so forth, and I'm happy to get back to people at any time. But it's a different format, and one that's being used more and more, and particularly by seniors. They're the fastest growing group in terms of
Yes.
of getting the computer skills and so forth. But it tells them about their community and one more voice in the community. This one from a somewhat different perspective, I think.
Great.
Is good.
Well, thank you, Gina. The time flies here when it's an
It does
interesting
too.
topic too. So thank you for watching Over 55, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.